we will start the stream by welcoming people to Brothers and Booze.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, the 56th edition or something.
Yeah. What episode are we even on at this point? Quite a few.
70 or something.
Yeah.
Something.
Regardless, man, what are you pouring?
I'm having this wonderful session IPA by Delta Beer Lab, which needs to be mentioned because they are out in the front line of social justice here as far as brewery goes in Madison, Wisconsin. They are on it. Check their Facebook page. It is hot. If you ever want to go get in a fight with the All Lives Matter crew, that's the place to start because they're all over that place.
It's hard to fight those people.
Yeah, well, I'm just sometimes you want a good fight and you just go out there. Like you used to really have to search for a good fight, but nowadays it's just real simple. So, the reason I love this IPA though is because it's adverse to, or not adverse. It's one like that Founders one that we don't like to talk about anymore.
Super crushable.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and juicy. What you got?
I'm gonna start off here with this something called from Elementary. It's called Gourdless. I picked this up because the can art was kind of cool. When I read it, it's session barley wine brewed with chai tea, which I've never had those as a combo. And then when I read the can, it said it's 6.2%, which is extraordinarily low for a barley wine. So I'm a little intrigued to see how this tastes. And I'm not going to spill any.
That is very low for a barley wine.
I don't think it's lower than 9. So, but look how it's kind of got the caramel, look of it for barley.
Very dark. Yeah.
Definitely doesn't smell as strong as a barley wine. Like, because you always get that super caramel notes on your nose.
Hello, Victor.
Hey, Victor.
Chai tea. Joe says rad. I say, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna say it drinks just like a freaking like a lager. It doesn't taste like a barley wine in any way, shape, or form at all. But you get the chai tea notes in it, and it's really, really pleasant. It's actually really drinkable. Like, not just like I could have a couple of these. Sometimes you get something that's a little bit odd, and you're like, one and I'm done. No, I could drink a couple of these. This is actually, it's not remarkable. Like, wow, it's blowing my socks off. But I'm not sure how they can call it a barley wine because it has none of the barley wine characteristics.
A sessionable barley wine. Okay. And
exactly. That was not anything I'd ever seen.
I didn't see that before. I saw it the second I looked, but that was Daniel and I.
Yeah.
For sure. Cheers, Joel. Thanks.
Yeah.
All right, Doug. Without further ado,
we got to bring him in because this is going to be a marathon, I think. So
yeah, it's time to jump in. We've had both on the show before. Both are show agitators. They pick on the people who are on the show. They're very proud of this fact. Mm-hmm. So at some point, Doug, we need to work where we could turn them against each other so that we're not, it's not all about them coming at us. But right. Without further ado, we're going to introduce the first person on our panel tonight, or our guest is going to be Miss Shalonda White, Afro beer chick from Chicago. She is a great friend to the show, despite her dislike of Borders. Despite. So we're just going to bring her on real quick, and she's going to say something about that. She always has something to say about my love of porters. I have a porter here, and so does Doug. We're going to make sure we get to that and describe it down to the T, which each one is about and how luscious and wonderful it is. Hi, Afro beer chick. How you doing?
Hello. First of all, I'm sorry I'm both of y'all for talking shit before y'all even brought me on. So you cannot turn Aaron and I against each other. Second of all, the porters, I'm going to tap out. But hey, everybody.
How about?
Hello. And our second guest is Aaron Gouveia, DaddyFiles. I'm excited for him. I think, Doug, actually, we are his first stop on his media tour. His book comes out I just saw on Amazon when I was doing my research. So you were making fun of me because I didn't have my shit together before the show, but I was doing research on guest Doug. Okay. So like,
I'll give you a pass.
Whatever. We're gonna bring on Aaron. What's up, Aaron? How you doing? Are we the first on your tour? Are we the first on your media tour?
You basically are. Yeah. Like I would anywhere else but right here.
Despite Doug, we were first.
I mean, Greg, I'm here for you. Let's be honest.
He's certainly not here for me.
No, Doug is a byproduct of my support for you.
You are also here for Shalonda for sure, and everybody.
Hey, Aaron, what's going on?
You're trying to make us at odds with each other, but there's no way.
It's not gonna work.
It's not gonna happen.
I kind of gave it away. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Greg.
It was a secret plot with me and Doug, and this is rolled out. So, what are you guys drinking?
Let's see. My first is Duke from Petacolas. So my homegirl Angie from Dallas, Texas area sent me some Petacolas. It's a barley wine. So that's what I'm sipping on right now. And then I have the Revolution 10 in the lineup. I'm down to 2 cans on that. So I'm looking forward to cracking that open. And then I have a Hot Butcher Octopus in rotation as well for tonight.
Hey, isn't Jeff, our friend Jeff, he's a big Petacolas person. He always posts a lot of stuff from their brewery. He's down by Dallas.
Mm-hmm.
They have some really good stuff. I'm really enjoying it. I had the Velvet Hammer, and then we just cracked open the Duke, and both are really good. I'm messing with it.
Aaron, let us know what you got, my man.
I want to preface this by saying I'm a beer idiot, and everyone is smarter than me when it comes to beer. That having been said, of course, for you, Doug, Lord Hobo, 617, Titletown IPA. I haven't tasted it yet, but I imagine it tastes like winning a lot of 6 titles for the Patriots. It probably tastes like 4 World Series since 2004. It tastes excellent because that's all we do in Boston is excellence.
Yeah, that's all.
That's it. That's the only thing.
So I got to get to the first question, Doug. I have to. Sorry.
Do it.
Right. So
otherwise, we'll be just gabbing the entire time.
I suspect that most people watching the stream know a little bit about both y'all. But one thing that when I was after we booked you guys, I didn't realize that like one of the things that you guys are known for that you guys have in common are like you guys went viral. I know that Afrobeatric went viral at least once. I think there's another time, or maybe I'm sure she'll verify. And Aaron, I know you've done it a couple times. So my first question is though, because Aaron's done it, if you guys know, the Grant story where Aaron's son painted his nails and got bullied at school. And Gronkowski jumped in, and it was just a wonderful story. We also have the other story. We have a couple stories that Aaron has done. So and you guys are very good at defending your opinions online, and you guys are very engaged with that, and that's great. I love it. But this is my question: How do you guys know that you're actually fighting with real people at this point? Like, how do you know that they're not bots? How do you know that they're just not trolls? And I'll ask the lady first, and then Aaron will get to you. How do you deal with the trolls? Like,
you know what? I'm to the point now where I just kind of like tune out. After maybe like the first or second comment, then I can kind of see like where they're going, and then two, also, I do pay attention to like their page. So if you've been on Twitter since like 2009 and you have like 3 tweets and 2 followers, you're a troll. So which means I'm not wasting my time. So I kind of go through and see what was said to see if this is an actual person or not. Then yeah, I'll go for the kill. And if it's not, then I'm not wasting my time.
I would like to say that I'm that discerning, but I'm not. Sometimes I just get caught up in it and I start fighting. And then I find out they're a bot. Sometimes sometimes I let it go. Most of the times I don't. And I do that because, I don't know, probably I have certifiable issues, but also because I worry in the back of my head. I worry about somebody somewhere coming into contact with this conversation, and even if it is a bot, seeing it, and I don't ever want them to think that there is any legitimacy in this bullshit that they are spewing. So at the very least, I want to make sure that I have called them an idiot and that I have rebuked them thusly, and that it's there for posterity just in case anyone comes across it, because I'm not taking any chances, because it's bad out there right now. It's been bad out there, but it's just a whole ocean of ignorance right now, and I am done with it. And I probably should take a page out of your book. I probably shouldn't respond to all of them. Someone with one Twitter follower and they've been on Twitter since 2011. It's probably not the best use of my time.
Right.
But I'm an idiot, so I can do it anyway.
I got one of those things that shows me that it's a bot, or it's like one of those bot centennial things where you go in it and then you can see it's a bot. So then I'm like, oh, whatever, like, F you. I block them out. And it's even funny because it even shows that the POTUS is it even shows.
Greg.
Greg's frozen.
Yeah. Am I back?
There we go. Folks?
Okay. Even I forget what I was saying. I was just saying about the bots, and I have one of those bot things, and I highly recommend it because even some bots have a lot of a lot of tweets and all that, so they actually look like real people, and they're still bots.
And followers, yeah. Yeah.
So Aaron, I have a question for you. So with all the social unrest going on, it's time for us to jump in on that. So the last time you went viral was a story about police, and and if you look on DaddyFiles, you pretty much know where Aaron's stance is on police these days. So how does that make you feel? And actually, can you explain to everybody like what I'm talking about as far as how you went viral with the police, and then tell us your feelings about how that is where you're at, today and all that?
Yeah, it's been really funny. I don't know. I thought it was clear. So let me back up. April 3rd was my son's 12th birthday, and obviously we were in quarantine, so not the best way to spend a birthday. And my neighbors, they came out in the rain and they sang happy birthday to him, and it was really sweet. And I put it online, put it on Facebook and Twitter, and I said, aren't my neighbors wonderful? This is fantastic. And a member of the police department in my town, who I don't know anyone in the police department. I've only been here 3 years. It's not like I've lived here all my life. I don't know anybody. They saw it and they said, hey, if you're game, can you be out on your porch at 5 o'clock and have your son out there too? And I said, all right, cool. So we did that, and 7 cruisers came down with their lights blaring, and they stood in front of the house, and they got on their mics, and they all sang happy birthday to my son. And it was a really nice moment. It was, from what I can tell, they're a great department, and they're doing things the right way, and I really appreciate it. It was a sweet moment. And so, a lot of people, over the last 2 weeks, a lot of people said, hey, wait a minute, didn't you praise the police department for, coming to help out your son for his birthday? And I said, well, yeah, but I'm like, that has absolutely nothing to do with the fact that there's longstanding systemic racism in policing, and every department is up for that to a varying extent. And so it's like, it really illustrated this all or nothing mentality about, well, you praise the cops. I'm like, yeah, well, they did something nice. It was a nice gesture. It was, and I appreciate it. And it remains a nice gesture. It doesn't change the fact that on the whole, we have a real deep problem with racism and policing and police brutality in this country. And that doesn't change just because, police do nice things like put up basketball nets, or, you see some viral videos of them dancing. That's all well and good. But it doesn't change the fact, it doesn't hide the fact that there are problems. Those problems don't go away because of it. So, that's where I stand. And I told these people, yeah, you you can do both of these things. You can be grateful for something that a police department has done and still criticize the policing on the whole in America. And that's where I'm at.
Well, that's it's kind of like that sticky widget thing where you're like, yeah, we really need to speak up about all these issues with the cops. And then you go, yeah, but you were nice to them once. Yeah, they did something nice once. Great. But we still have a lot of work to do. So going more towards virality too is talking to Afro Beer Chick about the I Am Craft Beer stuff. I kind of would love to hear a little bit more about that. And, we've discussed it before, but, I don't know that Aaron's actually heard about it either, or some of our other folks who are tuning in. So can you give us a little rundown on that?
So I Am Craft Beer is a hashtag that was started actually by Dr. J, Dr. Nicole Beckham, in support of me because I received a racist email back in like September of last year. So that day she jumped into call and said, hey, hashtag I'm Craft Beer, and show who you are. Whether it doesn't matter, who you are in this industry, everybody, every race, color, creed, religion drinks beer. So it grew. It went international. I was not expecting that. Since COVID, I have to admit, it's been kind of put on hold because, I've been confined, to my place. But as we break out a little bit more, we're going to be able to, I'm going to break out more with I Am Craft Beer. I know people hit me up all the time, say, hey, how come you guys are so silent? It's a lot running Afro Beer Chicks, social media by myself. And then on top of that, I have to do I'm Craft Beer. So, but it's been a wonderful movement. We've gotten a lot of great responses. And I'm just really happy with the direction that it took.
That's and the funny thing is like you see stuff like that and you're going, oh well, how big can it be? The thing is, some of those things are like snowballs. It's just like, Aaron, you've seen it as well. Just I never have because I'm not nearly as great as either of you. So you see these little snowball effects just take over, and it's like it seems like it just got like I didn't think it would get this big, and now what the hell do I do with this?
Right. It takes on a life of its own. You got the good, the bad, the ugly. And for me, you just kind of focus on the positive, and there are some times that somebody may get out of line and then you don't see Afro Beer Chick, you may see Shalonda, which is a whole different person, and then you may get cursed out. So yeah.
How mmany times has Shalonda had to come out?
Oh, Shalonda been out a whole lot lately. Oh, she's out all the time lately.
Like, remember, Greg, when we were just talking to her the other day about that lady on Instagram?
Oh, man.
And we were both like, what the fuck was that?
So, yeah. Let's not even.
I don't want to indulge in it. It was something that I could have seen you going just like full on Shalonda with that because it was just.
Oh, stay tuned because that is not going unnoticed. We're not going to discuss it here because this is our platform. But trust me, I'm going there.
So Aaron, Aaron and everybody else. There's a Doug. You sent that to us. There's a lady.
No, Shalonda did.
Oh, okay. So Shalonda found out there's a lady on Instagram. She's a person of color. And she's on there saying, she's like, the first thing she says was, hey guys, there's no racism out. Oh no, she goes to the African-American victims. There is no racism out here, she says. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Everything is fine.
And people at this brewery are treating me very nice. And we're like,
right. She's our Candace Owens is what I would say.
Nah, she's worse than Candace. She's way worse than Candace. She is a fucking nut job.
When you start the whole thing by there's no racism out here, after the week that we've had, after the 2-3 weeks that we've had, what we've seen, what's been uncovered, the whole shift and what has it been? 20-point shift of positivity towards Black Lives Matter and all that. And this woman's out here saying there ain't no racism out here. Yeah, we in crazy times. And ABC, I just wanted to give you a chance to comment on what Aaron was saying about the cops and all that. And I don't know if you saw Did you get to see Aaron's that story and all that? It was heartwarming, man. It was great. I loved it.
No, I didn't get to see it. For me, of course, I'm going to have a different point of view. And don't get me wrong, they always they're so quick to tell us, "Oh no, not every cop is bad." Yeah, I get that, but I'm gonna be honest with you, as a Black woman, that is in one ear and out the other to me now. Because for me, I feel like I'm at the point you group them all in together, because the good cops, they ignore what the bad cops are doing, so that makes them just as guilty. Mm-hmm. So for me, it's like when I see people hugging up on cops or they're giving love to cops, I'll be honest with you, I'm at the point like, what the fuck ever. I'm not with it right now, because it's too much going on. And when you have bad seeds in your department and you still do nothing and you still say nothing, you are just as guilty as they are.
Yeah, I don't disagree. And, I come at it from a couple different perspectives. The most horrifying for me was, I spent a lot of time as a newspaper reporter, as a journalist in Massachusetts, and that required me to check in pretty much daily with whatever town I was covering in the police department in that town. And I mean, I can't tell you the number of things I knew but couldn't prove because the records were gone, or because no one would talk, or because they just covered up for each other. And they do. The thin blue line is a real thing. It is a real thing, and it's real dangerous. And the silence of good cops is deafening. It's deafening, and it's unacceptable. And I think that's why the defund the police right now is getting the traction. It's a shame that it's being misunderstood by so many people, but it makes all the sense in the world to strip this down to nothing and to start over. That's what is needed. It really is. And that doesn't mean no police. It means changing fundamentally what we view as policing. And so, yeah, I mean, you can, like I said, you can do all the nice stuff in the world, and that's great, but it's not going to change the fact that fundamental and serious sea change needs to happen right now.
I think what happens is that we have police who are not from these communities who are policing these communities. There used to be a time where you had to live in that community in order to work on the force. So which means you handled it differently. So when you have, like, for instance, a lot of these suburban cops coming into the city and they're working in Inglewood, of course, they're not going to treat those people the same as they would if they were living in Westmont, Oak Park, Oak Brook, where they're coming from. I'm kind of with the whole defunding the police thing, because of the fact that so much money for them goes towards police and not our youth. We are at a point where we are funding more police than we are education. And I have a big issue with that. They'd rather put more money to put more police in the schools than they do the teachers, than they do books, than they do activities for these children. So at this point, I'm really for the defunding, but do I think it's going to happen here in Chicago? No, because the mayor has already said it. However, there needs to be a complete reform if you're not going to, defund. At least if a cop has 3 or more complaints of excessive force in their record, they need to be fired. Plain and simple. You should not allow somebody to rack up 30 and 40, 50 complaints for the same damn complaint. That shows you that person has a problem and they do not need to be dealing with the public. And when they get fired or resign, don't let them get a job a county over. Exactly. That's inexcusable to an exponential degree.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that sounds eerily similar to some other things where people are shuffled around that have some wrongdoing, but I'm not going to mention what those are because I don't want a bunch of people yelling at me.
Tell me in the chat. I'll say that they can yell at me. I don't care. Yeah,
just it has to do with some particular faith that has some pretty bad actors when it comes to kids. So let's just leave it at that.
Yes, Victor. ABC is from Chicago.
Yeah. Yes, I am. I'm from Chicago.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
And Thomas screaming from the sidelines. Y'all.
That's our boy, Tom, man.
Tom is the best. And his wife's a teacher, so he's with the education part, no doubt.
So before we move forward, and we're at 25 minutes, I haven't opened my second beer yet. So
is that a damn porter?
Yes, it is. Damn it.
That tasteless brown water bullshit.
Yeah, well,
Oh! Is there a mute button here?
Yeah.
Right.
Go ahead and mute me, and then I'm gonna turn around and I'm gonna shout it out on Twitter.
Right. And ABC has like 7,000, 800,000 Twitter followers.
We're gonna get railroaded after this. It'll be awesome.
Right, and then Gouveia is gonna like retweet it, and it's
right. We'll never have anybody watching our show ever again.
Right.
I wouldn't do you guys like that. I have to be able to talk shit with you as much as possible.
I'm gonna, Well, at least Doug didn't spill that one, right?
No, I didn't.
The night is still young.
Yeah, that's true. No. I could do it yet, just you can't.
Hey, Victor, me too. I'm from the north side too.
This is actually a Polish Baltic porter.
Oh.
And I bought this for less than $4, and it's like a 22 ounce bottle. So,
well, Doug, I'm jumping in here.
Do it because I'm drinking.
As we noted when we started, Mr. Gouveia is going on a media tour here. We started it. Yes. So, Aaron, this is no better time for now. It's time for our sponsor.
You get to be our sponsor. Do it,
yes, sir. So let's hear about this. This is part of the reason why Miss Shalonda White is on our show tonight, because she was very interested in this. So I want you to tell everybody what's going on with it. And we had a little, since we last saw you, Aaron, we had a little bump on the road here. You lost a publisher or something happened. So tell everybody what happened, because this is even getting this damn thing written and published was like right. So yeah, there you go, buddy.
No, yeah, I mean, I appreciate it. So, real quick background. About 18 months ago, my then 5-year-old son wore some nail polish to school, and he went to his kindergarten class, and he got ridiculed by his by his friends and by the kids in his class, saying that you got to take that off. Boys don't wear nail polish. That's for girls. And we teach him to kind of fight his own battles unless he's in danger. We tell him to talk it out with people, and so he did that. And by the end of the day, he had it, and he was devastated. My wife picked him up, and he just collapsed. And when we finally got out of him what was wrong, obviously I was pissed. And we consoled him the best we could. We told him to sleep on it, whether or not he wanted to wear his nail polish the next morning, because he loves it. We said, "Do you like wearing it?" He said, "Yeah, I love it." But he didn't want to be made fun of anymore, which is understandable. And so when he went to bed, I put together a Twitter thread, and I wasn't the calmest at the time that I wrote it. It was pretty raw. But right before I went to bed, I sent it out, and when I woke up, my phone was going absolutely batshit crazy. And I knew right away that I had struck a nerve and things were going to happen. And before I even left for work, the sun wasn't even up yet. I had People Magazine calling. It went to People, to Mashable, to Axios, USA Today, Independent, and eventually on the Today Show and Good Morning America. It was crazy. And from that, a whole bunch of things happened. But long story short, I got a book deal, and it's always been my dream to write a book. And so a publisher called me up and said, "Would you like to write a book about, kind of raising boys in this day and age?" And I said, "Sure." And, it was a long haul. And I told them I was working as a vice president of a public relations company at the time in Boston. And I told them I was working crazy hours. So I really, I didn't have a whole lot of time to write this. So they gave me 5-6 months to write it. And, which I did, turned it in. And then February, early March, COVID hits, and everyone took a hit, including my publisher. They had cuts, about a third of their staff, including my editor. So I had to wait it out and see. I had to see if they were even going to publish it or if they were going to push it. And turns out they're going forward with it. So it drops on Tuesday. So it's June 16th. It's called Raising Boys to Be Good Men. And it's about, raising boys in the age of Me Too and toxic masculinity and the shithead Donald Trump at the helm of everything. And I think I eventually broke it down into 36 tips. But really what, the common thread through all this is knock this shit off. Like we're doing a lot of things wrong. And it starts with, it starts with me. This book turned into a manifesto on all the dumb shit that I did in my life and all the shit that I did wrong. And I did a lot of it. And it was kind of painful writing this book and going back and saying, oh my God, I was part of this problem. But I wrote about that and I was honest with it. And I wrote about how I fixed it, which was in large part coming online and meeting, people like Greg and everyone else in the dad blogging community, except for Doug, and, just getting a whole different view of fatherhood and a whole different perspective. And, it's meeting black dads and brown dads and trans dads. It was getting all of those people and all perspective to show me how stupid I was being in a lot of respects. So this book is kind of my mea culpa in a lot of ways. And it's an attempt to reach the people who aren't too far gone yet, to see if we can change this, because all this shit is tied together. The misogyny, everything men do to contribute to rape culture, conversations, how to talk to your kids, how to talk to your boys about consent, how to talk to your white boys about white privilege and what that means and how to be better allies. It's all part and parcel of what we need to do to reframe manhood. And that's, kind of the long and short of it. So it drops on Tuesday, and if you like giving it a read, I would love that.
I got a copy coming, so
thank you, man.
And I like to give Shalonda the follow-up, actually.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Just put her on the spot like that.
On the spot. Do it.
Well, as a woman who has daughters, I can appreciate the fact that you have a dad that is going to take the time to break down what it is and what it should be to be a man. Because unfortunately, you have a lot of dads nowadays that just don't do that. And then don't get me wrong, and I'm not speaking ill on men, because we've said this in chat. Women can be toxic as fuck as well, and I try to break the cycle with my daughters. So I really appreciate the fact that, Aaron is the type of man, the type of dad who's going to be supportive in what his son does, because what that does is, by supporting him as he gets older, it's going to teach him how to support others, not just other men, but also other women.
Thanks. That was really nice. And it's true. It's very true that this, people say, oh, is this a book only for boys? Well, no, it's not, because this stuff, it starts with boys, but it also affects girls too. It affects how we absolutely. And, there are a whole bunch of different examples I can give, but I remember, my oldest son a few years ago in elementary school, he had some electives that he could pick for after school. And, I'm a huge psychotic Patriots fan and football fan. And so he knew that and not his thing, but he had a choice between some classes and he picked football over Rainbow Loom, which was what he really liked doing at the time. This was years ago. And, it's those elastic breaks that people make. And, he picked football. And I said, what are you doing picking football? You don't even like football. He's like, well, I wanted to make you happy. And that killed me. It just showed me what I was doing wrong. And I was being part of the problem that you're trying to solve. And so I was like, no, man, take the Rainbow Loom. You're good at it. You like it. It's fun. It's things like that. It's every time a dad says, stop throwing like a girl, and, calls his son Sally and tells him to man up. And all that bullshit seems like it's very tiny, but when you add it all up, man, it's a snowball effect. And it's choking the life out of our boys. We don't teach them how to deal with rejection or, how to cope with any emotions. It's be strong, and it's a default to anger and violence. And then when you throw guns into the mix, it's not a coincidence that the majority of mass shooters are male. I mean, it's statistics, it's numbers, and it's out there. You just have to realize it and really take it to heart, because this stuff is all this misogyny and all this violence and anger and everything else. It's all tied in together. If we don't do something about it, you're going to keep seeing the results, and the results aren't pretty.
I seem to recall a certain Patriots coach who referred to a receiver as a girl one time. Who was that?
That was Bill Parcells, and that was Terry Glenn.
Yes, I remember, and I was just being an ass, so I apologize.
And we got rid of him. He's gone. See,
rightfully so. But so this has been a pretty heavy show, and I love this because normally we're pretty light, and we're pretty trying to keep it moving and just. I'm
never light.
Yeah, we both have been, but Greg, to be fair, we've both been like wanting to kind of just fucking jump into all this stuff and just being like, yeah, but we have enough of that. And sometimes it's hard to just be like, yeah, but you still need to talk about this. You still need to bring it up. We all need to talk about it. We all need to be able to just say what we're thinking about it and actually work together on it to try to get rid of it. I mean, I'm wearing this shirt for a reason. And today just kind of took the fucking wind right out of my sails. And, having LGBTQ people in my family and seeing how they were just kind of thrown under the bus today, just, I don't know. It's a few tears shed in my household today. So sorry to make that heavy.
No, don't apologize.
No, right. Yeah. Is that the thing you don't want to think about, Doug?
I think I just said it.
Well, we might as well just
do it
while we're here. So after beer check, do you have one? A thing that you don't want to think about?
Yeah. I've been trying to behave for the last few days. I mean, with everything that's been going on with, racially, and then, this hit that this damn POTUS, I have a lesbian daughter, and she's married to a woman. And the fact that to know that what he's done, it affects her. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, what is real? Why are you catering to this small group when you should be focusing on the common good of all? So yeah, I'm kind of with Doug on this one. Like, I try not to think about it, but you can't help but to.
Mm-hmm. Aaron? Right.
Man, I didn't know the thing I don't want to think about.
Right.
I just and it kind of hit back home today when I don't know if you got to see the Dave Chappelle special that he put out on his Instagram, but it's 28 minutes of just palpable pain, and I mean it's really good, but it's really hard. And he keeps mentioning 8 minutes and 46 seconds, right? That's the amount of time that murderous fuck had his knee on George Floyd's neck. And when I went to a local vigil, and one of the things that they had us do was, take a 8 minute and 46 second moment of silence and take a knee. And I mean, I don't know if you've ever taken a knee for that long, but it's entirely uncomfortable, and it's difficult. I mean, granted, I'm a fat guy, so maybe it's more difficult for me, but still, it's difficult to kneel, even on the grass, to take a knee for that long. After a few minutes, my body was screaming to stand up, and that guy held his knee down on a human being's neck for nearly 9 minutes. And by the time that we got up, and by the time we stood up, I mean, that's the thing I don't want to think about. I don't want to think about how anyone can kneel on someone's neck for almost 9 minutes. That is fucking insane. It's dirty and nasty and gross. And I don't ever want to think about somebody who's supposed to protect people doing that again.
Cheers, Doug. Follow those two. Good luck.
Yeah, that's two hard acts to follow.
Good luck. Right.
You know what I don't want to think about? I don't want to think about Brad Stevens and his fucking Celtics being in any sort of playoff structure at all. Fuck them.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll let you have that. I'll let you have that because seasons don't even matter anymore. And
yeah,
you're claiming who did you claim he looked like? Who did you claim he looked
Tom Cotton. I claim you
Tom
look
Cotton.
Yeah. Racist Tom Cotton.
You're just your Celtics, your Boston hate is reaching an all-time ridiculous level right now.
Dude, I have nothing but time. What do you want me to do? Sorry, I had to make a little light out of that.
Yeah, I actually don't have one, so we're just gonna move on. I started this. Hey man, it's either you do one, you riff off someone else, or you pass. I'm gonna pass. You guys kind of killed it earlier. I took my steam out. Right. So Doug has a witty follow-up question here.
Oh, I do.
Throwing it back on Doug. Come on, Doug.
See, this is the thing. We're so scripted and professional. It just makes everything just flow.
Wait, so this is completely different from my show when nothing is scripted and we just go for it. It's like whatever.
Totally. We're complete professionals here.
Okay. Well, I'm not. I'm not.
Right.
At all.
Mm-hmm. So
I have a question though. Next. Sorry. So Afro Beer Chick, did you finish your first one or are you drinking something else? And follow up, Aaron, how is that IPA? Because I've had Lord Hobo and they make good IPAs.
Well, I did finish my first one. I'm actually getting ready to crack open Revolution's 10 year.
Ooh.
Yes. It's like bitter sweet because that means I only have one left in the fridge. But we're gonna do it, in my nifty rev cup. So yeah, I'm gonna do it.
So you want to do it, but you don't all at the same time.
I've already done it. And I'm gonna after this, I'm gonna pass the can to my husband because I am a wife that shares her beer.
Hey, I'm a husband who shares his, so I get it.
And the IPA, I mean, it was, like I said, beer idiot. So I'd love to tell you that I know you're all about like it's got dank hits of dandelion. It was just good. So, yeah, I liked it. It was
dank hits of dandelion.
Did you like it?
Of course I liked it. 617 here.
Hey.
Oh shit. Oh Doug. What are we gonna do with them?
By the way, this porter, really good.
Oh, by the way, this porter, really good.
Oh, by the way, I just turned off my mic, so whatever.
Yeah, right. See? Look, we could just remove her from the show and just move on with our lives if we want. You
just made it worse, Greg.
Oh, I know. But look, she F with my porters too many times, man. I can't do it. There's only so long I can take.
Hey, listen, I used to take giant dumps on IPAs, and I've come around. So maybe we can get her to come around.
Right. So I have a question. So I was asked, who's your all-time favorite Celtics? Celtic.
Oh.
I know who it is.
What?
I know who Aaron's is.
What is your favorite Celtic? Favorite Celtic?
It's gonna be one of two people for Aaron. It's gonna be either Bill Russell or Larry Bird.
Yeah, well,
Larry Bird is.
I'm fucking smart. I mean,
Russell, I get. Russell's a fucking champion of champions.
So Bill Russell, first of all, it's got to be Bill Russell. 11. He played for 13 years. He won 11 championships. 2 as a player coach. That's fucking amazing. But he also played during a time. I mean, Boston's not the most racially progressive city in the world, and he played during a time when that was especially true. And he went on to become what's that?
I said Yawkey Way.
Well, that's changed. That's gone now.
Yeah, but it wasn't for a while. But yeah, you're right. I'm making that point. Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a high point. It's not a feather in our cap. But Bill Russell became a civil rights leader. He's still just a tremendous human being. So I'm trying to start with a friend of mine. I'm trying to start some momentum, because if you saw in the North End in Boston, they cut the head off the Christopher Columbus statue in the North End, and so they have to replace it. And I am all about a Bill Russell statue in its place. So, but childhood favorite. I mean, I was born in '79, right when Bird came in, so I grew up with Bird. I mean, Bird.
Oh, fucking Whit Honey coming with the fire.
No, Anton Walker.
I would have pegged you for an angel. Who said that?
Give me the shimmy. Oh, that was Whit Honey, buddy.
Whit. You're a bad person. What? You pegged me for a teetotaling Mormon? Is that really what you pegged me as?
Apparently so.
Oh wow! Wait, so no Anton Walker?
Antoine Walker, the Wiggle.
The Wiggle, baby.
The Wiggle.
Oh man. No, as a kid though, my heart broke when Reggie Lewis died. That was when he was a rookie. He came to a car dealership to do an autograph signing near me, and I was all about Reggie Lewis. I loved him. I thought he was great. He was the future. When he died, I was 13 or 14 years old at the time, and I was devastated.
I will say, as someone who is not a Boston fan, and I'm older than you, Aaron, I think, and the Len Bias death, just that. I was not a Celtics fan. I was fucked up over that, because that was just the guy didn't even get to play.
Yep.
The day he got drafted, the day after he got drafted, and he died, and I was like,
Yeah, I was a little too young to remember that very clearly, because you're an old fuck. But but yeah, I mean, looking back, that changed everything, and that was horrible.
If you think about the fact that Len Bias could have been on a team with McHale, Parrish, Bird, holy shit! You put him on that team, like on the tail end of the Celtics dynasty in the '80s, that would have been just. I don't even know what you do with that, because Bird would have fed him about 8,000 alley-oops. It'd have been insane.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, wait. No, hold on. So you're from Chicago?
Yes, I'm from Chicago.
I'm guessing all Chicago fandom. That's straight through Bears, Bulls.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, I'ma always love my city, but our teams have been trash for quite a while. I'm just speaking truth. So, but then too, I'm not going to stay here and pretend like I'm that heavy into sports either. So, yeah, fair.
So I just gotta know, Aaron.
Hey, Greg, before you ask, Aaron got another beer, and he got a kid to fetch it for him, I think.
I did. This is juicy ass IPA. I've never had this before.
Juicy
Flying what?
It's Flying Monkeys craft brew. It's
that's out of Canada.
Is it?
Yeah,
I believe you. It's got bright fruity notes and dank hoppy bitterness and fresh verdant resins with sticky malts for softly carbonated unfiltered flavor. And I said that. I didn't read it from a can.
All right, Greg. Sorry to interrupt. I just saw him drinking something different. I wanted to see what he had.
I'm just one of my things is this year is what I'm looking forward to. Even though I agree with Aaron, I think that all sports leagues at this point are all involved in fake seasons. Even the NFL, it's already started. It's a fake season. It's not going to be like what it was. If it's around anybody, it's just going to be. It's just not going to be the same. So I know that I feel that this is going to be a way out for Aaron to like legitimize the season. Boy, is it Tampa? Or am I wrong, Doug? Or what am I feeling? You feeling this, Aaron? I'm giving you time to respond, but that's what I feel. Like, what is going through your mind? Like, this is the first time, man, that Tom Brady's not going to be on your team. Do they even play Tampa this year? What is going on? What do you think about Tampa Bay? Tampa
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay. What?
Gronk, baby.
What's going on, Aaron? What do you?
I can't believe that you're even bringing this up to me like this right now.
Well, listen.
Hey, man, listen.
You already know that I'm a Browns fan, and we'll never get anything. We'll never do anything. The Browns won't do 1/23 of what the Patriots will ever do. So, as like when I get that little chance to kick a Patriots fan when they're down, I gotta do it. I have to. I'm sorry. It's just part of the process. Like, yes, you're about to slap me around in like 2 seconds, but I'm gonna have my minute. Damn it! And I think I did. But what are you gonna do, Aaron? No, seriously though, like I'm shocked that he left. I really was. I'm shocked that he left. Is that because of Bill Belichick, or I'm asking all these questions he's not even answering, dog? I don't know. Maybe if you ask him, he'll get pissed off and answer.
Let him dig his own grave. Do it.
Look, you all know it's no secret. I pledge my eternal allegiance to Tom Brady. He won 6 championships. He's the greatest quarterback who ever played the game. And that hasn't changed. However, now that he's gone, because let's face it, we all root for laundry.
Yes. We root for laundry. Say that again?
That's a Seinfeld thing. We root for laundry. We root for the uniform on the back. And it is so easy to dislike Tom Brady. now that he's not here, I mean, he's got the supermodel wife who I can't stand. He's got, he wears Uggs. It's super easy to hate Tom Brady. And I'm finding that now. And I'll never hate Tom Brady because he did magical things here. But I really hated the way that he left. I was at the last game that he ever played. Right now, as it stands, the last tape that I have from sitting in the stands at Gillette Stadium is his last throw ever as a Patriot. That was a pick 6 to Logan Ryan, run back right into my end zone. And that hurts. And then he took Gronk with him to Tampa Bay. And Gronk did this whole, I don't know if I'm going to come back. Oh, maybe I will, maybe I won't. And Gronk is the guy who sent Sam a video affirming his,
Yes.
For which I am forever grateful, and I can never hate Rob Gronkowski. But
I couldn't hate him for that either. I want to hate Gronk, and I can't. Right.
You can't. I mean, he's like your Labrador Retriever. You can't hate him. He craps on the rug, and you're like, oh, that's cute.
Oh, Afro Bearcher can relate.
Horrible.
Wait, what was that?
I said you can relate. A pain in the ass dog that you love.
Oh man, y'all want to talk about the damn dog? Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Let's not do that.
I want to talk about the dog. What's happening?
Right.
Oh, bring Riley.
No, hell no, I'm not bringing Riley on.
Right.
So I have a golden retriever who's about to be 1 on Wednesday. Riley is an asshole. He has his own personality. So on my private Facebook page, I'm always posting pictures and videos of us cussing each other out. Like, he's just an asshole. He's adorable, but he's an asshole. I love him.
Right. Just like Gronk. Right.
Just like Aaron.
Right.
Adorable asshole.
Seriously, Gronk has always been that adorable asshole for me. He really has, actually. He really is.
He is. He's the guy that you go, he's such a dope, but goddamn, I love that guy.
and let me tell you, I got a chance to take my oldest son to meet him, and it was in a very small setting, at a camp he was doing, and he had his whole family there. He had all his brothers and his father there, and I was like, I wonder if this is an act. I wonder if like Gronk is really not just as, and he is exactly the same. It's not an act. It is how he is. It's how his family is. They're really fun, good people. He recorded a video for my dad saying Happy Father's Day. My dad's my dad's had season tickets to the Patriots for 49 years. This coming season will be his 49th season. So, I mean, we remember the bad times vividly. And we're really thankful for the good times. And I have talked myself into the Jarrett Stidham era. I have talked myself into Jarrett Stidham going 10-6, being a borderline Pro Bowler. I am full-on delusional, and I am happy with it. I've accepted it, and I'm fine with it right now.
Well, then you are like me, because I am a Gardner Minshew believer at this point, because what the fuck else do I have to believe in on the Jaguars? So,
Jeff Tepper agrees. Stidham.
well, Tepper would agree with anything. If it said Boston,
You leave Jeff Tepper alone. Jeff Tepper's a saint.
I'm pretty sure this is Wit, right?
Oh.
Oh, all right. First of all, she pulled the goalie. Second of all, they broke up, and he's been a good dad ever since. You can't take that away from Tom Brady.
That is true. He has always been, even Michelle Monaghan, who is the mother of his first kid, has always said he's been a good father. So,
yep. And he took a lot of shit. This is also toxic masculinity. So during that Tom versus Time thing a couple years ago, he took a lot of shit for giving his son a kiss because he kissed him on the lips. Like, give me a break. Belichick actually the same thing with his daughter. It's like, give me a break. People always accuse these people of being, robots and everything. And yet when they show some human emotion, then they, that's all of a sudden bad.
can I jump in, please?
Yeah, go.
I wrote an article for the Good Men Project about 7 or 8 years ago. And it was said, yeah, I kissed my son. So what? And I got a shit ton of nasty stuff about that. Mm-hmm. My sons would come up in public and just give me a freaking kiss. And I was like, awesome. Because that's who gives they're your kids. Like I never could understand why that was such a big deal. I always thought he got I'm not a Brady fan, but like that's his kid, and his kid gives him a kiss. That's adorable and awesome. And my kids still give me kisses, and they're in their teens, and it's because they're showing affection. I think that's part of the toxic masculinity.
There's nothing wrong with a man showing affection to his son at all. I have no issue with it.
Another man.
Or that too. What I have an issue with is when a father praises his daughter's breasts in public. Now Trump did that. So, however, no one seems to have had an issue with that, but they have an issue with the way a father shows affection to his son very innocently. Now, that's how screwed up society really is.
Mm-hmm.
ABC for the win. Yeah. And that's not all he did. He let Howard Stern call her a piece of ass on the air. And then I think it was on The View, but maybe I'm wrong about that. But he definitely said this. He said that under different circumstances, he'd like to date his daughter. What the fuck is going on there? And this guy's our president. He also said that he never has changed. He was bragging about never changing a diaper, and that's wife work. Literally, that's a quote. You can look it up. That's acting like the wife is what he said. That is some bullshit, and that's just one of a litany of reasons why he doesn't deserve oxygen.
Amen. I'm not religious, but amen.
I'm done.
The thing about this conversation is we lose track of what the fuck we're drinking. And Greg, we rarely do that kind of stuff.
What?
Where we're just like, what? I don't even know what beer I'm on at this point.
Oh, yeah.
And that's great. That's the thing, is like having conversations where you're so involved in the conversation that you kind of forget the other stuff outside of it is a lost thing. What is that one, Greg?
It's this wonderful porter that I'm drinking.
Oh,
sweet though.
So, hey, Aaron, so question for you. Then you say that basically you've had 2 IPAs. If you're going to drink craft beer, is IPA something that you will gravitate towards normally just because it kind of appeals to your taste?
Yeah, I've been on, frankly, I've relied on my friends locally here who, I happen to live within an eighth of a mile of my college roommate, and he used to brew his own beer. So he's pretty obnoxious about all the stuff beer related like you guys are. And he has shown me some, he's kind of brought me over to this side of things. So a lot of it is really, what he brings me, and we go to a craft brewery, or we used to before the world ended. Almost every Friday night we'd go to Craft Roots Brewery in Milford, Mass. And I started gravitating toward the IPAs. A lot of, I found that I really like the citrusy beers more than anything. And so that's kind of where I'm at now.
I was going to guess you're into New England IPAs, but that might be a little too.
I don't even know what that is, Doug. But if it's New England, it's
So one thing that Doug and I love about Afro Beer Chick is that she's very, very adept at like making sure that she has a good time with her booze. And what I mean by that is like if she has like a whack beer, she'll switch it up and like add some ice cream, add a shot of bourbon. She's really, really amazing and great about this. So I just wanted to throw that out there before I really get to what I want to talk about. And this is a serious issue, and I really want Afro Beer Chick's opinion, but I need Aaron to frame the whole thing. One of the dumbest, stupidest reasons that Aaron Gouveia went viral was because Aaron Gouveia went to his bus stop, Afro Beer Chick, and in his pajamas, and all hell broke loose on the internet. So,
wait, am I missing something?
Oh no, hold on. I'm gonna get Aaron to break it down as much as he can, and then you're going to follow up and respond to what Aaron's about to say.
This is the dumbest thing. I want to hear ABC talk about more stuff. This is pajamas. But real quick, years ago, my wife chewed me up because I went out to the bus stop in my pajamas. And I was blogging a lot at the time. This was like 6, 7, 8 years ago. And I was hard up for content. So I was like, I'll write about this. And as it turns out, people have very strong fucking opinions about pajamas outside the house. And I was going out. We lived in a fairly secluded area. I was going out to the end of the bus stop to put my kid on the bus. And I worked from home at the time, so I had my pajama bottoms on. No big deal. And my wife was like, you really shouldn't do that. You should really put on some shorts or some sweatpants at least, or you should get fucking dressed because you're a slob and that reflects poorly on you. I was like, get the fuck out of here. No. I was like, that's ridiculous. I am taking my kid out to the bus stop. It does not matter a damn what I'm wearing. And I don't care whether I'm wearing, does not matter. The fact is I'm out there putting my kid on the bus. And I wrote about this. And it went crazy. I ended up on radio shows and everything else, and it was the dumbest thing imaginable. But people think wearing pajama pants outside the house is somehow tearing at the fabric of society. Very strong opinions on this. So Greg has always liked to.
But look.
Those folks have never been to Walmart.
Hold on. Now, as a mom, I'm gonna tell you this now. I get when you're trying to get your kids on the bus, you're just trying to get them out the house to the bus stop. I don't really care, but I have an issue with when I see people in pajama pants at Walmart at their kids' schools. Like people are showing up in their kids' schools in pajama. That irks my freaking soul. Like, why the fuck are you showing up to your children's school in pajamas? Like, if it's not an emergency and if you knew you had to go up there, or if you get a call, throw some jeans on, throw some whatever else on, but not pajama pants. So the bus stop, I completely understand. I get that. But not out, like, get in your car and drive somewhere and rock a pajama pants. No, I'm not with that one. I have to admit, I'm not with that one either.
Although I will say that the idea of like, what's the difference between pajama pants and sweatpants? There's not a lot of difference. I swear to you, I have pajama pants that look exactly like sweatpants.
I mean, I guess, to each his own. Like for me, like with my daughter, when they were in school, and I would get up in the morning for days when I was like ditching work and she still had to get to school. I would still get up and drive her, to the bus stop so she can still jump on the CTA so she can get to school. But I still got up and put on jeans, you know what I'm saying? And because I don't know. It's something about the same pajama pants and you stand in a line at a store. I'm like, what the hell? Like, did y'all not have a whole training doing this? Put some pants on, some real pants. I don't know. It's just me.
Yeah, and I get that. I think it is it's a difference. Like, I'm going out to the end of my driveway and then come right back in the house.
Well, that's understandable. I can rock with that.
Well, no, I don't even. Not only is it understandable, I don't know why you would lose your mind about that. Like, what is the problem? Come on.
MJ's right over there. I mean, I could drag her in here and ask her to debate this right now, but I don't know how that would go.
I don't. I ain't trying to fuck with MJ, man. She deals with you, so she's stronger than you. I ain't trying to fuck with her.
Yeah. Well, Aaron called my wife a saint when he met her for dealing with me, so I can return that favor.
Jillian's the best.
She is the best, so I'm lucky. So, hey, before we go any further, let me talk about this beer real quick, just only because I fucking been looking for it, just because I've seen a bunch, like Daniel Fisher always talked about Threes Brewing. This is aged in rye and bourbon barrel.
Ooh.
So, like, the fact that it was like aged in 2 different barrels is pretty interesting. It's Imperial Stout. Does not list the ABV at all. What I love about it is their address is 333 Douglas Street in Brooklyn. Mm-hmm.
Dork.
Hey, I got so little as a Doug. If you see any Dougs on TV, they're all fucking dopes. So, like, if I get anything that has something cool that's a Doug name in it, I'm gonna take it.
Like the cartoon, Hey Doug.
Yeah, like Doug Funny, fucking Doug Heffernan from fucking King of Queens. They're all dipshits, and I fucking hate it.
Emu and Doug.
What?
Emu and Doug.
Although I will say Dougie Doug was cool for about 3 seconds.
Doug.
Y'all remember Dougie Doug?
No, I remember.
Yeah, I know the
man. That was like literally like 3 seconds. He was like a dollar store version of Kadeem Hardison.
Oh, that's wrong. He was actually kind of funny in some shows.
He was, but yeah. Thank you, Daniel. Also, it was interesting because the bourbon and rye flavors mix really well in the Imperial Stout. So cheers to that.
Wow. The Dougie dance. Someone said the Dougie dance was fun.
Yeah.
Dougie Fresh. We called that about 8,000 fucking times. Teach Me How to Dougie was another one I kept getting for a while. Although Doug Benson, Daniel Fisher commented Doug Benson. That's a good one.
Keep the Dougs rolling.
Right.
Let's keep the Dougs rolling.
Oh, man. I don't even know what to ask next because we've gone pretty much all over the place. And I love that. I really do like the idea that it's not a narrow scope that we're exploring. And
are you?
Well, okay, well, look, I have one. So you know how we talked about, male toxicity. We have to talk about the female side because women do shit too that is fucked up. And here's the thing: nobody ever really wants to call them on it because, for whatever reason, they scared of the backlash. So when I have conversations with my daughters and with my friends, and they tell me shit that they've done or they're going through, I'm like, dude, where do you see where you fucked up at? And I've had friends that have called me out. So it's like if you have daughters, you have to be able to tell them the same, basically keep their ass in line as well. You have to be able to say, hey, you need to stop acting like a victim all of the time and take this criticism and own your shit. Why are not women or mothers not doing that anymore?
Yeah, I don't disagree. In fact, part of one of the chapters of the book was all about maternal gatekeeping because, there's this weird double standard with dads. So there's like, dads need to be more involved. Dads need to step up. Dads need to do more, which I agree with. But then when they step up more, sometimes there's like, for instance, dads dressing their kids. Like I dress my kids for the weather. Like if it's cold, I dress them warm. If it's hot, dress them so they don't suffocate to death. But yeah, there's some stripes and there's some definitely. I'm not a fashion person, as you can tell. I'm not a
You dumb say.
pads and stripes and whatever else you got. I don't give a shit. But there's and then there's these moms who are like, oh my God, what are you doing? This is horrible. You can't do this. And the dads are they're trying. They're doing their thing, and it's fine. The kids might not look like runway models or anything, but they're getting the job done. And then to have that kind of called out, it makes the dads retreat. It makes the moms, feel like they're responsible for everything, which is a double standard that women face because hell, everyone expects you to be perfect mothers. Mothers never get complimented when they're out walking with their kids or taking care of their kids. Meanwhile, if I take a baby to the store, I'm hailed as the fucking conquering hero. It's ridiculous. So there is some of that. There is some, and some women need to lower the reins a little bit to let the dads take over, because just because they do things differently doesn't mean they do things wrong.
That's true. I definitely agree with that. And I mean, I think it's a bit of I can't speak for all mothers. Like for me, I was a single mother most of my girls' lives. I didn't get married till like 3 years ago. So for me, it's like you have to, for a mother like me who had to do it all. And then I just say, if one of the dads decided he wanted to step up, I'm side-eyeing like, well, shit, why not? Why now when I've been doing it this whole time by myself? So it's like, it's a mental thing with that. And it is a hard adjustment. So that's why I also tell, females, like, you got to call them out. Like, look, when you're wrong, and own up to it.
So, Shalonda, what would you say to, because I don't, actually on this panel, we don't, or no, Doug has a stepdaughter, my bad. I was gonna say on this panel, we don't have any, I have all boys. I know Aaron has all boys, and I know Doug has 2 boys. But Doug's blended family. He has a
3 boys and a mother.
Right. But Doug has a blended family, so I forgot. Doug has a daughter. What advice would you give a father who has a daughter? How does he navigate that? In your opinion, as far as how does he navigate trying to help his daughter not grow up as toxic as you think?
Honestly, the best thing you can do for any woman or any young lady is to call them on their shit, and it's okay to call them on their shit. And it's also okay while still protecting them. You have to give them the real truth of what's going to happen in this world. When you pamper them too much, excuse me, I know you guys hear Riley barking, but when you pamper them too much, that honestly does a disservice to them. And also the other people that they come in contact with. You have got to keep it real with them at all times, especially with a dad talking, talking to a daughter. I didn't have that. My dad wasn't really there around for me, but my grandfather was. And I learned that through him. My grandfather did not sugarcoat anything. He kept it 100 with me. It's like, look, what you're doing is bullshit, Shalonda. I'm not standing for it. And that put a lot of things in perspective for me. And now my daughter, who's in the Air Force, I try to, her dad wasn't really there for her either, but I try to implement a lot of things that I know, like my grandfather would have told her. And it's so funny because now she's calling like, Mom, man, you were so right. I'm so glad you was just straight to the point with me. You didn't sugarcoat anything. So that's the most important thing. Just keep it 100 with your girls at all times.
Well, there is a lot of sort of this whole thing like with. So I'm going to say this as a white guy, so take that as it is. And sometimes there's
white.
Yeah.
For real? I did not know that.
More like the idea of like trying to call out stuff is sometimes, and this is not not like a woe is me thing. It's like there's a weird territory of trying to be able to call stuff out without being the person that's like shitting on something. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's like there's a more aware way of approaching things. And sometimes I'm really fucking bad at that. I'm really bad at being like, hey, you shouldn't do that because this is going to affect something down the road. But I approach it terribly. Like, like I make these things like my daughter will do something. I'm like, why are you doing that? Like, but I say it and then I'm like, oh my God, you just said that so bad. And there's sometimes where it's like, because I'm an older guy, sometimes I say shit that's really wrong. And I have to really just go and I say, listen, I'm really sorry I said that. I said that the wrong way. What I was trying to say was this. But I think there's a lot of people that don't get that you can apologize as a parent. You can say, yeah, I fucked that up, but here's why I fucked it up, but here's what I meant, and here's how I want you to see what I'm saying without being just this giant dickhead. And you know, Aaron and Greg are part of our group where you go, the whole big thing is don't be a dick. Like literally don't be a dick. And sometimes I'm a dick and I just don't know how to fucking backtrack the dick.
Well, you know what? Honestly, to be honest with you, it's okay to be. I have to be honest with you. It's okay to be a dick at sometimes. And also, I'm the type of parent that if I fuck up, I do apologize to my girls. Never think that you're above them apologize just because you're a parent. But however, sometimes we coddle these new age kids. Don't get me wrong. We kind of coddle them a little. We overprotect them in a sense. So sometimes you just have to give it to them raw and real because this is the world that we're facing. Like even with me talking to like racial issues with my daughter, I can't sugarcoat that. I have to let them know that there's a possibility you may come in contact with the wrong person the wrong day, and you may not come home because of the color of your skin. Some things you just cannot sugarcoat it. And now it's like they're finally getting it. And I told, Greg and Doug this last week on my podcast, like my 15-year-old, she's finally getting it. She told me that, hey, Mom, I can do everything you taught me correctly when it comes to the police, but there's still a chance I still may not make it home. And that's raw. I couldn't sugarcoat shit like that. You have to be straight to the point.
So Shalonda, I was curious about that. I've heard a lot of Black parents talking about how they've had to have that conversation with their Black sons, but that's a conversation you have with Black daughters too, right? You
have to, because they're not just attacking the Black men, they're also attacking Black women. Like for instance, there's Breonna Taylor who was shot and killed in her home. You have Sandra Bland. Oh my God, it's just a countless list of Black men and Black women. We all have to have that talk. And the one thing I hate to admit is that Black children are born with targets on their backs because of the color of their skin. And that's just the reality for us. And we can try to navigate them the best way we possibly can. But once they're out of our purview, we can't really control what they do and what they say. We can only hope and pray that they take those teachings with them. And even if they do, that still does not guarantee that they get to come home to us at night.
And that's something as a parent of all white kids, I never have to worry about.
And that is the constant thing that I don't want to think about. So now I got it in there. Bam.
Back around.
That's one I don't think anybody. It's one I shouldn't have to say every day. It's just one that it's just a constant.
And I'm curious, Greg, Shalonda, what age does that talk happen?
Man, that age starts very, very. You have to start honestly, and people think we're bullshitting. You have to start talking about the police to your Black sons and daughters at like age 5, 6, 7 and up, because they, of course, believe that at that point in time, police are superheroes. But then you have now asshole police who are targeting these young kids at an early age. I watched a video of a cop who put a 8-year-old in handcuffs for something that he thought that this young boy did. So you have to start earlier and earlier, and that's just our reality.
Yeah, early teens, we've already had it a bunch of times, and now At least the oldest came up to us within the past week and was like, "Oh, now I understand why we had that talk 2 years ago." And I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." So, yeah.
I mean, you think about even just some of the folks like Tamir Rice. He was 12.
12. Yep.
Fucking 12. And he
And they
had
pulled up on him within 2 seconds. They shot. 2 seconds they shot.
well, and then you look at like, well, it's just mind blowing as somebody. I look at my kids, and my kids don't, from just purely a physical appearance, never have to worry about a cop just being like, I'm initially giving you, I'm putting you at this a higher level of worry that I need to be more aware and I need to be on top of things simply because of the way they look. I don't have that worry for my kids. And it doesn't mean I don't worry about my kids. It just means that is a worry I don't have. Shalonda, Greg, you guys do. You have to sit there and think about your kids. Every fucking day you have to worry about, are they going to fucking walk home? Are they going to be able to walk home and be okay?
And this is why I'm for defunding the police.
Me too.
I'm not for abolishing the police. That's a totally different thing.
Well, Aaron, you did a whole post
about that. But when I talk about
the marketing of that, by the way.
But there is marketing of that, but there's also like, it's such a new thing in people's heads that I think everybody has a different idea of what that means. So like, I think you have to explain that, what it means to you. Because some people, defund the police means, I'm done with them all, get rid of them. And for some people, it's like, let's work on it. Some people are like, let's flush the whole thing and start over like Camden did. That's kind of where I'm at. Let's flush them all. If you have any priors, bye. If you're the great cops, I want to talk to you immediately. I want you back. But shit needs to be scaled back. We need to be putting more into resources like domestic relations. We don't need cops showing up to every domestic thing possible. If there's a gun or there's something going on, yes. But if it's just two people arguing, why can't we have social workers out there? If it's somebody who's in trouble with Narcan, why can't we have medical people go out there? Why can't these things be things? Why do we have to have 15 cops show up at Shalonda's house? Because her running around with a
Robbie, are you gonna say my house?
I don't know. I'm just saying because you're black. Because you're black.
Right? No, I'm just playing. I feel you. But you know what? This is why the national. This is why it needs to become a federal law where it should be against the law for Karens to unnecessarily call police on black people.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah.
And you're right. More than likely, the cops probably would. In my younger days, cops probably would have showed up to my house.
I can say me too. My point is that like they could just show up because your 14-year-old daughter had a water gun and she was just spraying it around, and now all of a sudden the cops are at your house and all that. No, maybe we need to send a social worker out again. And if we had social work money towards the social workers, we could have social workers roll like this and do domestic things that police aren't meant to do. They're police. They're for serious issues. Let's have them do serious issues, and let's everybody else have. Again, let's bring back our mental health system. We went to, remember all those mental hospitals we used to have? Then we trashed them all, and then all of a sudden the police have to deal with all their mental things, and then you see they're not only trained, they're just not capable and able to do that. And it's just, we have people who are literally mentally ill getting shot by police because the police don't know how to react to someone who's mentally ill. He's not trying to kill you. He's not trying to hurt you. There's something wrong up there, and no one has really been able to help them, and they just get thrown in jail, and it's just a fucking mess. Sorry.
So, can I ask a sensitive question?
Well, you may.
Yes, sir.
Why do you hate Porter?
Well, yeah. Oh, we're getting to the real issues now.
I've seen the Porter angst, but I don't know the story behind why Porter is so bad.
Because she's shallow in this area.
Oh, you want to talk shit now? Let's do it. Let's ready. You want Shalonda? You want ABC? Which one you want, baby? You got a choice. Which one you want?
I want the lady that talks beer because I don't want to mess with Shalonda.
You sure? Because Shalonda
I'm very sure, actually.
Because Shalonda has a whole nother side to Shalonda.
No. I've seen a little bit of Shalonda, not even that much.
We haven't gotten the full Shalonda on this show.
Porters,
no, we haven't. I haven't even seen it in person, so I'm not even. So.
Porters are tasteless brown water. It's a waste of brain equipment.
Come on.
Yeah, that's what I said. What I said. Now and what?
Aaron, you see Greg's name on here, right? Daddy Porter. So that's a shadow over the mouth.
Right. This is
you were drinking porter, so I didn't know if you were doing this as a direct retaliation against.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what they're doing. They did that to be funny, but whatever. I still stand by what I said. Porters are tasteless brown water, and it shouldn't even be a style of beer.
Oh, look at Greg.
Now what?
Doug, deal with her. I don't know what to do.
Porters is like sitting in child support. It's a waste of time.
I'm equipped to handle her in any way, shape, or form, or talk to her that way.
Yeah, but what am I gonna do?
You're gonna take it. That's what you're gonna do. You're gonna take all of it.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do, and I will.
I have my friend Aaron. The only reason he's on here because of me, because he ain't on here because of you, Doug.
Yeah,
so like,
Aaron and I are frenemies. We fucking just dump shit on each other all the time. I love him. I do. He's a great man, and
I love everybody.
Great things. You dump on each other, but he's a great man.
What?
You dump on each other, but he's a great man.
But that's the kind of relationship we have, and I think that's kind of how he and I interact. It's like I think he's awesome. I adore him, and I think he has the right ideas about how to approach some things that like toxic masculinity. He wrote a whole fucking book about it, for fuck's sakes. He's right. And like he and I disagree on sports shit. That's all. Literally everything else we agree on. Sports shit, we just disagree.
How much have you had to drink tonight, Doug?
What's that?
How much have you had to drink tonight?
I've had 3 drinks before I even started the show, and then I had 3 beers.
You said more nice things in that like little spiel there than I've ever heard.
He's living the dream I want. I'd like to be able to write a book. I'd love to be able to publish stuff. I can write. I can't write how Aaron writes.
Shut up. You're a good writer. Writing a book is a horrible, horrible experience. It teaches you how terrible you are. I got my book in the mail, and I've already found 3 typos and like 17 things that I want to change, and I'm not happy with it. Like it's a miserable, awful experience.
Well, for every author that I follow on Twitter, which I follow a shit ton, they all say the exact same thing, Aaron. So you are not alone in that.
It's funny when I got this book deal, I actually tried to talk my way out of it to the publisher. I gave her a list of names of people who were better suited to write this book than I was.
They're like, fuck you, you're writing this.
And
I have very much self-loathing. I would rather just give it to somebody else who's more qualified, which is just about anybody in our community, because our community is filled with some fucking amazingly talented
writers in that group. Mm-hmm. 2 of them in the group tonight were Whit and Tom that commented, and those motherfuckers hold.
Oh my God.
You're all intimidating. Right.
Whit and Tom write on a level that I frankly will never get to. And I know that, and I admit that, and I'm fine with that, and I'm kind of in awe of them.
I like to pretend that I'm somewhere near them, and I'm not.
and Doug and I want Afro Beer Chick to write a book.
Yes.
No, that's not gonna happen.
Why?
That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because for one, I don't want to sit down and type up shit. I barely want to do my Twitter. So no, I don't have that type of patience. The most you're gonna get up out of me is talking shit via video or Twitter. But I've had this idea for the longest time. I am trying to work on a documentary called Being Black in Craft. So COVID happened, unfortunately. and it just kind of derailed some things. But that's what you're gonna get about me. But as far as writing a book, it ain't about that.
Yeah, but hold on. You don't even have to write a book now. Can't you just like talk it and like dictate?
Yeah, you can dictate it.
No, they would not
push it to your phone, and then
they would not push that book through. They were like, wait a minute, hold on, she's a little bit too much.
I think you. Hey, listen, I am the biggest imposter syndrome person in this fucking group. I'm going to tell you that people would read your shit.
Yeah. I'm with them.
Look,
to all the Porter slander, I agree with Doug.
No, fuck that. I want to read "Fuck Porter" by ABC.
Yeah,
That's what I want to read.
Have you guys been on my website lately? Have you seen the last time I did a blog post? So it's hard for me to sit down and do a damn blog post, let alone a book.
Oh, look. Right.
Oh, that is not it.
Right.
That's not.
Right.
No, that's not it.
There's nothing there.
What are you doing?
It was just on my website earlier. Don't even try that. Don't do me. Don't do me.
That's funny. There's nothing there. No. Oh, come on now.
Nope.
You can do a book. You can do
Nope.
a book.
Can't do it. My attention span too short.
Doug, I think we got a better shot at her writing a book than trying Porter. So we're gonna try the book thing now.
Well, you got a better chance of me trying to Porter than I'm writing a book.
Oh, look at this.
I think I now have the motivation to go write a book just about porters.
Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said, hold up. Somebody said,
And
Porter,
ABC
erase the grain. No, Porter, erase the grain. Porter is dry, dirty brown water. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. That's what I said.
So that's your book.
Porter is brown, dirty water.
See, Aaron already
I
suggested.
thought it was Stubbs. Fuck
Maybe-
Stubbs for saying that. Fuck him.
Who was it?
That was Jason Stubblefield. Fuck him.
Shout out, Jason. Thank you.
Hey, I'm going on their podcast on Tuesday. Oh,
You're gonna trash it?
oh, I'm gonna drop some shit.
But Aaron had already said that before. She needs to write that anti-Porter book.
Oh, that would be. I'm gonna tell you. Listen, I love porters. I'd read the shit out of that.
No, you know what's gonna happen.
I'm in on anything ABC does.
That book, if Greg buys it, it's gonna be in his collection of books that don't get read.
Oh, here we go. So we were on ABC's podcast. It came out actually yesterday. Check my Doug, did you retweet that? You need to. Check all of our
I've not.
it's out there. But during that, I revealed that I have I have like almost, if not over 100 beer books. I just started buying them, kind of like hoarders. So then I was like, yeah, I got a couple to read. And she's like, how many you got? 100? What? Yeah, I have 100 beer books and I don't read them. So chastise me. Look, listen, the group's gonna have a good time with this because again, I can't even go into a shower.
He has a whole little mini library and they only read like 2.5 books of that whole library. That's beer money gone down the drain. That was a waste. You could have spent that money on beer books on actual beer.
Yeah, but knowledge is power.
But it's not power if you don't actually take the time to read it.
I'm going.
The message I took from this is if you buy that book, it's going to go unread on the fucking shelf. Is what I heard.
Exactly what's going to happen.
Listen, just like all those hoarding people are going to use all that toilet paper, I'm going to get to those books. So fuck all you.
No.
Now what?
I'm going to see you.
Just like the hoarders are going to get to all those candy cakes that they get, like 100 of them. I'm going to get to those books. And when I'm at the end, I'm going to call you up, Afro Beer Chick. I'm going to blast it.
I dare you because I'll see your ass next year at Fresh Fest and you still won't even get book number 4.
Hey, no, wait. Here's the thing. We need to get Aaron to Fresh Fest.
What is Fresh Fest?
Oh man, hold up,
yes.
hold up.
You have to go.
Wait, we have to understand he doesn't. He's just not getting into beer, so he doesn't know what Fresh Fest is.
But that's okay. This is the thing that he would be cool with to learn.
Fresh Fest is a platform that was used to showcase Black-owned breweries, but although it is inclusive, and it's like one big ass family reunion where you see a bunch of people that you claim are your cousins. They just have a big ass party, and it's beer, and it's love, it's community, it's fun, it's an experience. And I hate that we can't go this year. They're making it to a digital fest this year, which is dope, but to be there is a true experience.
Well, you sold it. I'm in.
It's in Pittsburgh, but we can't do it till 2021.
Yeah. Hey, Aaron, though, but the thing is, if you want to drive down and you get to my place at Binghamton, I'll drive you down there with me.
You want me to come all the way to Binghamton to drive down to Pittsburgh?
Yeah.
Oh.
Hey, Binghamton sucks. I'm not saying Binghamton's great. I'm saying I will lessen your drive time.
Sure.
That's what I'm offering.
We're going to figure this out.
I went to Pittsburgh for a couple years ago for a Patriots Steelers game, and it was totally different than I remember it from like 10, 15 years ago, the last time I went. There's some great places down there. We sat at a brewery and just drank our faces off. Can't remember which one, but it was fantastic.
I can't remember which one, but it was awesome. That's great.
Jeff says he's going to take a year off of Dad 2 to go to Fresh Fest.
Yeah, because Jeff and I, when we were at Dad 2, and Greg, you were there with me. Aaron, you were there too, I think. But
MJ was. Who cares about Aaron? Sorry.
Fuck him.
People like my wife much better than me.
Yeah. But like we all were like that. So the Dad 2 was like the first one they announced was like, we're going to do all SEO, all the marketing shit. And I have no interest in that. I'm there for the people and to just kind of just interact. So if Dad 2.0 doesn't do East Coast thing, which is what they were talking about, then hey, I'm out. But that's okay. Like people that want to do that sort of stuff, good on you. I'm not that guy.
What time and what do I wear at Fresh Fest? Who is that?
I'm gonna find out. That was Stubbs.
Well, you just wear whatever you want. I know I'm wearing my
fucking Stubbs should come because Stubbs
shoes.
I mean that. Sorry.
No, I'm gonna rock my ABC shoes, and just come and have a good time. Just show up. That's all it meant.
Wait, ABC, wear whatever you want. I'm showing up in pajamas.
You do that, and I'm gonna talk about your ass. That's for real. I'm gonna talk about your ass. For real.
Here's the divide between them two, Doug. Now we can exploit it.
No, it's already done and over with. We already said what I said. No, with your 3 books.
I got it now. I'm not. I got it now, Doug. We got it. We're gonna work this. So,
I need a shot of whiskey. Now, where my whiskey at?
I'm gonna wear one.
Wait, whiskey before you go. What whiskey?
What are we gonna drink tonight? I'll probably sip on the Woodford Double Oaked.
Ooh, that's a good one. The thing is, like, that's a bourbon, and I'm not a bourbon person, but the Woodford Double Oak.
Yes. Yeah, that's
Aaron, when you get into spirits, where do you go?
I don't.
Oh. What?
No. I just occasionally I'll drink beer almost all the time, but if I'm doing a mixed drink, I will have a mule.
You know what? You know what you need to do, Aaron? So my husband and I, we're actually tomorrow we're gonna record our first podcast called The Neat Four. And it's gonna focus on the bourbon and whiskey. So you follow us on the platforms. And each week I'm gonna do a cocktail of the week, where it's going to either be, bourbon or it's going to be whiskey. But I believe that you will heavily enjoy these cocktails that I create. And trust me, they come out. Some of them may be like their own spins on classic cocktails, and some of them are some shit that I just made up in my head, especially when you get to the beer cocktails. But yeah, it's fun.
See, I will follow that because I have no prejudices. I have nothing. I have no knowledge. I am a clean slate when it comes to this stuff. So I will take your word for it and try these things. And if I like it, I like it. And if I don't, I don't. but yeah, I am down because I'm wide open to this. I used to only drink Coors Light mainly because people like Doug and Greg used to give me shit for only drinking Coors Light, which just made me want to drink it even more. So I got pulled into this very slowly and very late. I'm open to it now, and I'm gonna check it out, and I'm gonna follow recommendations from people a lot smarter than me, which is basically everyone here.
Awesome.
By the way, Jeff Tepper said that you and him could wear Patriots jerseys in Pittsburgh, which would go over really well.
Jeff Tepper is my soulmate. He's my hetero soulmate, and I love him so much. He and I till fucking always till the wheel.
Him despite his Boston allegiances.
That's how we roll. I don't know what to tell you.
So it's been fantastic being with you guys. So it is time to wrap. We could do this for 3 hours.
Sure.
We do at Dad too.
3 hours another time. This is just fucking awesome.
Well, at Fresh Fest and Dad too, we do it all night long. Down at the lobby, having drinks, down at the bottle share. So before you guys go, I really want to make sure that you guys talk about what the hell's going on with you. You both have big things going on, COVID or not. Aaron, if you don't mind, I'd like to start with you, and then we'll let the lady sail us off. So, Aaron, tell us what's going on. What you got going on. You got a book dropping. I just want to make sure people here, if they missed you at the beginning, know what's going on now.
Book comes out June 16th, next Tuesday. Raising Boys to Be Good Men. Yeah, give it a try. And also we have it's not really too formal yet, but we my wife and I are going to write a book together. We just got a book deal, and it's about kind of the conversation about men and miscarriage, because that's something that's not talked about a lot at all. And we had 5 pregnancy losses. We had 3 kids, but we had 5 losses total.
Wow.
I'm going to interview. My wife and I are going to interview as many different dads and moms and partners as we can. White dads, black dads, brown dads, trans dads, gay dads. We don't give a shit. I want to hear about how this affects everybody and try and get as much information as possible and really base the book around that, because it's a conversation that really no one is having, and I think it's one worth having. So that's something that's going to come out probably summer of 2021, but it's in the works. So Tuesday, first book drops. Please look out for the next book, middle of next year.
Awesome.
Yep. And I'm obviously, you can see on my Amazon there. I'm ready for it. When's it?
No, yeah, it's gonna be on the bookshelf.
I'm going to read it. Shut up.
No, yeah.
Collect dust on Greg's bookshelf.
I knew she was going to comment. Also, all this information though, if you can't find it on Amazon, it's on DaddyFiles, and you can click through. I verified it. It's on top of your banner. So excellent, and we will. We're definitely going to have you back, Aaron, when and maybe we can get an appearance from MJ.
Yeah, she's in there. I tried to drag her out, but she doesn't come out.
Well, she's not going to have an excuse when her name is on.
Jill doesn't come out for unless it's post-production, but she's adopted this whole I am going to go to bed early and wake up super early. And you can do that. I'm not doing that shit.
Well, it's going to be hard for MJ to dodge the interviews when her name is on the damn book, Aaron. Just saying.
Mm-hmm.
So she gets a pass now. It's cool. Next time she's going to be right. So, Miss Shalonda White, let's hear what's going on with you, and because there's new things going on. We haven't even really given you the platform to talk about your new podcast. And you mentioned there's an Afro Beer Chick podcast, and there's also She Likes to Craft podcast, and there's also the Neat Pour. So give us all everything that's going on.
Well, I'm always talking shit on Twitter, but I also have my podcast called This Chick Talks Beer episodes. I just recently got back to it. I had to take a COVID break because it was a lot going on, but they're dropped on Thursdays. So I have already done my 2 interviews for the next couple of weeks. So next week I have Mac Brewing on, and then the week after I have Beers and Bars on, and then I'm working on the other ones after that. I have some really cool guests. I'm going to keep that under wraps as of right now. And then we are also, my husband and I, we just started, we haven't recorded the first episode yet, but we're doing the Neat Pour, where that one is focusing on the bourbon and whiskey and our travels through that. So we're really excited to put that out there.
And who was your guest on the podcast that you dropped yesterday?
You guys, we were talking shit as always. So their episode number 6. So check it out. It's on the website. It's on SoundCloud. It's on iHeartRadio, y'all. I was surprised they picked that one up. You can catch my little podcast on iHeartRadio. So yeah, it's dope.
Excellent. And now we have an appearance from my friend MJ.
Hey, MJ.
Hi.
So apparently you're part of this next book.
I am.
Excited?
Scared?
And then divorce.
You guys are it's gonna be fun. I'm rooting for you. I love it.
Awesome.
Doug, anything?
No, this has been great, and it was funny. It's been like an hour and 45 minutes. It feels like it's been fucking 20. And we talked about heavy stuff and talked about fun stuff. And we went all over, and I just think it's great that we're able to just kind of talk about some heavy shit and also about fun stuff. So
yeah, we got this is one I think Afro Beer Chicks. A lot of people in her group or people who follow her should watch it because we got to talk a little bit about beer, but we got into the personal stuff a lot. So I mean, I know you touch this. I know you touch this a lot on your podcast too. But I think we saw a different angle of you. Right.
You never know who's gonna pop out.
that's
Rolando, ABC. You never know.
We didn't see a different angle on Aaron. We just did it. Sorry.
also as an old white guy who likes R&B. Every time I hear ABC, my first thought is another bag.
ABC, BBD. Yes.
Yes,
Another bad creation.
East Coast family.
Aisha and the playground and all that shit. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. I don't want to end this, but we got to stop somewhere.
For sure.
All right, guys. Till next time.
It'd be great. Thank you
guys. Good luck fighting the trolls. Aaron, good luck on the book. We got to have you back the next time to talk about the next one because I'm vastly upset.
I think we need to have MJ not be in the background next time.
Right. Right. Flip that, right? There we go. There we go. Flip that, right, dog?
Yeah.
Totally. Thanks, Afro Beer Chick, and thanks, Aaron, DaddyFiles. Thank you guys. You guys have been
Great having you. Love you guys.
Best of luck. Best of luck. All that. See you soon.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Man.
And sometimes we get guests and that shit just fucking takes off.
Yes, and I don't know. It's cool.
I'm not sure I can remember all the beers I had, and I only had 3.
Well, it's cool. Listen, man, it's cool dealing with it's cool dealing with tough issues or big issues, tough issues. I don't know. I'll say it here because no one else can see it but me. But our viewership was out the roof tonight. It didn't stop or slow down because people were talking serious issues. So it's cool. I'm gonna wrap up mine before you get to yours. I had a Delta beer night. Delta Beer Lab has been. If you're in Madison local, man, they have been killing it as far as their messaging during the civil unrest and actually even before with the COVID. They've just been awesome. Their whole thing is, even when you look on their cans here, they're a different kind of brewery. They're dedicated to change. They started their whole brewery about social change and bringing people together. So when it's a time like this, Doug, they're not shying away. If you look on their website or if you look on any of their social media, they're killing it. So I really believe that I went out of my way to get some beer from them, and I have not been disappointed. The best one I had, I'm gonna go from best to worst. The best one I had from them today was their Session IPA. It's funny too because given their social stance, Doug, this is a really good anti KKKBS founders beer. This is really good. It's a session. It's nice. It's refreshing. Poundable beers. This is one that I don't know. It's 4.7. You would like this IPA. It's unassuming. It's nice, but it gives you that little bit of a hop thing. Of course, when I'm on a podcast with ABC, I gotta have an English style porter. This was roasty. I didn't get to really talk about it.
By the way, English style, which is a different style porter.
Yeah, I think it's because they use different hops, but I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get into it because we're at the end of our podcast. I want to be done, or not. I want to be done. I gotta go to the bathroom, or something, or whatever. Anyway, English style porter, roasty. You would love it. In fact, you're probably gonna get some in a little care package here soon because I'm working on that. And then the brown infused, the coffee infused brown. Fantastic. And then I threw in a plush crush from Ale Asylum. So yeah, man, it was great.
All right, so I'm going to go quick because I know you have to go to the bathroom.
Right.
And the first two are literally tied.
For 2 hours.
So it's this Ale Asylum, Gourdless, which was
it ain't Ale Asylum.
no, not Ale, Elementary. Sorry. And the Come's fucking Baltic Porter. So here's the thing. This was fashioned as a barley wine, not a barley wine. Super drinkable. I could drink a lot of these. This drinkable, but not like something I could drink a lot of. So this is probably 1B. This is 1A. Both were good. Neither were remarkable. But the winner was pretty clearly the threes, Imperial Stout aged in rye and bourbon barrels. You got a little bit of taste of both the barrel styles. Imperial Stout, really smooth, really good. Doesn't list the ABV, but I'm sure it's around 10. But regardless, just really good. And here's the thing. Simple, but really smart, good labeling.
So, next Tuesday, we have a roundtable, video game roundtable. We're talking all video games for an hour and a half.
System 2, I'm going to be really excited.
Video games. I believe that's Tuesday, 8 Central, and then next week, I'm not sure. Do we verify? I guess.
Oh, Jesse Sanfilippo.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah, that's going to be. I'm going to tell you. First, people with her in the Dad Blogger group, she's just an amazing fucking human to have on the show. And she's from Montana, so you get to relive some of your big sky moments out there.
Sure, and I might be living some big sky moments in the future too, but we'll keep that as vague booking. Doug, it's been awesome. We're on 2 hours. I love you, man. We'll see you on Tuesday. Video games. Fan dads, and some other surprises. We will see you then. Fantastic show.